What's up, people? Pizowell here, and today I want to talk to you about 1984's The Last Starfighter. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this new Blu-ray release from Arrow Video. Lance guest stars as Alex, a young man from humble beginnings who has big dreams. However, Alex's wildest dreams are about to be exceeded. Shortly after getting the high score at Starfighter, Alex is recruited by an alien race to put his gaming skills to use in a very real intergalactic war. The Last Starfighter is a movie that I hadn't seen in many, many years, but it's a movie that immediately took me right back to the first time I saw it as a kid. I remembered the grocery store I first rented the movie from, the Pac-Man arcade cabinet inside the grocery store that I dropped many a quarter inside of. And I remembered an employee of the grocery store named Marty, who I once called a turd because he had promised me that a specific video would be there on a specific day in order for me to rent it. And when that didn't happen, I was so indignant that the only swear word I could come up with there on the spot to call him was a turd. And yes, I got in trouble for my wanton use of the word turd. The Last Starfighter is a nostalgia machine. It's also a really fun movie for a number of reasons. First, it's your classic feel-good story of a young man living in a dusty little trailer park who longs for something more. Yeah, it's a little cheesy at times, like when the entire trailer park rallies around Alex to cheer him on while he beats the high score on Starfighter, but who doesn't love a feel-good underdog story? Second, the visual effects in the film are very, very 1980s. Now, at the time, the visual effects in The Last Starfighter had to be considered cutting edge. As a matter of fact, The Last Starfighter was a very early example of a movie using CGI. It all looks really dated, kind of like an old video game, but there are some surprisingly cool-looking moments, made even cooler looking thanks to this release's new 4K restoration. The movie also features a whole host of interesting-looking alien species, and the prosthetic makeup effects for each one are pretty well done. The legendary Dan O'Herlihy, Connell Cochran from Halloween 3, is buried under prosthetics here to play the character of Grig, an alien with a lizard face and a turtle shell head. The Last Starfighter has something of a Halloween pedigree, with both Lance Guest and Dan O'Herlihy on board, but the movie was actually directed by Nick Castle. Although several people donned the coveralls and the Shatner mask in the original Halloween, Castle is credited as being the Shape, having played the lion's share of the character. The Last Starfighter also benefits from some humorous moments involving an Alex double known as a Beta Unit, who takes his place on Earth while the real Alex is battling it out in the stars. The Alex double spends his time avoiding extraterrestrial assassins and real Alex's girlfriend's sexual advances. The Last Starfighter also features a fantastic score and a strong supporting cast full of familiar character actors, including Reggie the Reckless's grandpa. The one downside to The Last Starfighter for me is that the movie feels way too quick and kind of incomplete. The makers of The Last Starfighter were clearly banking on a sequel in order to tie up some of the loose ends here, but unfortunately, that's yet to happen. Still, I really like The Last Starfighter. Lance Guest delivers a great dual performance. I love Dan O'Herlihy as Grig. The score is fantastic, and it's just an all-around really fun movie that I can't recommend any higher. As for this Blu-ray release from Arrow Video, as far as presentation is concerned, we have a very nice slipcase for this release. Really like the newly commissioned artwork there. Just the color of the slipcase, it's very shiny. It's also got a really nice matte feel to it. Very, very nice slipcase. Here's the back of the slipcase with a plot synopsis and a write-up about the 4K scan from Arrow Video. We get a clear Blu-ray case for this release, and the sleeve features the exact same artwork as on the slipcase. The back of the release, we have the plot synopsis, the list of extras, the credits, and the technical specs. The sleeve is reversible, and on the reverse, we have the original poster art for The Last Starfighter. There is the disc. And this release comes with a booklet that includes two write-ups about The Last Starfighter, one from Amanda Reyes and one from Greg Baer. And the booklet includes some very nice full-color images from the film. We also get an 11x17 poster with this release. On one side, we have the original poster art for The Last Starfighter, and on the reverse, we have the newly commissioned artwork for the film. As far as the picture quality is concerned, this release features a new restoration from a 4K scan of the original 35mm camera negative. I thought the picture quality on this release was absolutely fantastic. I would give it a solid 4.5 out of 5. The image is crisp, it's clean, the colors really pop. It's just a great looking restoration for The Last Starfighter here. Same with the audio quality, I would give it a solid 4.5 out of 5. The Last Starfighter looked and sounded absolutely fantastic on this release from Arrow Video. As far as extras are concerned, first we have Maggie's Memories, revisiting The Last Starfighter with actress Catherine and Mary Stewart. It's 9 minutes and 28 seconds in length. Miss Stewart discusses auditioning for the film with Lance Guest and the two of them clicking. She discusses her favorite scene in the film and the scenes she had with Beta Unit Alex. She discusses how proud she is to have been part of The Last Starfighter and more. Next, we have Into the Starscape, composing The Last Starfighter with Craig Safin. It's 12 minutes and 20 seconds in length. Mr. Safin discusses how he approached composing the score using both synth and an orchestra. He discusses the different pieces of music he composed for different sequences in the film, the emotions he wanted the music to elicit from the audience, and more. Next, we have Incredible Odds, Riding the Last Starfighter with Jonathan Battelle. It's 9 minutes and 27 seconds in length. Mr. Battelle discusses what inspired him to write The Last Starfighter. He discusses first meeting with Nick Castle and working with him. He discusses not wanting the film to be just another Star Wars knockoff, his sequel story, and more. Next, we have Interstellar Hit Beast, creating the special effects with Kevin Pike. It's 10 minutes and 14 seconds in length. Mr. Pike discusses really wanting to do something special, as The Last Starfighter was his first big show as a special effects supervisor. He discusses the different props, lighting effects, pyrotechnics, and other gags in the film, and more. Next, we have Excalibur Test, Inside the Digital Productions with sci-fi author Greg Bear on Digital Productions, the company responsible for the film CGI. It's 7 minutes and 46 seconds in length. Mr. Bear discusses touring Digital Productions offices and interviewing the staff. He discusses the kind of animations they created for the film, and more. Next, we have Greetings Starfighter, Inside the Arcade Game with arcade game collector Estelle Vance on reconstructing the Starfighter game. It's 7 minutes and 24 seconds in length. Mr. Vance discusses his love of arcades and first seeing The Last Starfighter. He discusses how Atari was developing a game based on the film, but it never came to be. He discusses writing software for video games only seen in movies, and one of them being Starfighter, which he demos some gameplay from. Next, we have Crossing the Frontier, Making the Last Starfighter. It's an archival making-of documentary featuring interviews with writer Jonathan Battelle, producer Gary Adelson, director Nick Castle, art director James Bissell, Lance Guest, visual effects designer Ron Cobb, and more. It's 32 minutes and 2 seconds in length. We get image galleries, trailers, and 3 audio commentaries, one with Lance Guest and Jackson Guest, one with Nick Castle and Ron Cobb, and one with Mike White. I listened to the commentary with Nick Castle and Ron Cobb. It was a very informative, fun, and entertaining commentary for The Last Starfighter. This is an excellent release for The Last Starfighter from the fine folks over at Arrow Video. Both the picture quality and the sound quality are fantastic, and we get lots of really nice extras here. If you're a fan of the film, this new release is a no-brainer. If you've never seen The Last Starfighter, I highly recommend it. This release from Arrow Video would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. I'll post a link to Arrow's website down in the description. Go over and check them out. If you've seen The Last Starfighter, please let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you've already purchased this Blu-ray release, let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below also. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, don't be a turd, and peace. A huge shout out to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and join me for exclusive live streams, get early access to videos, and have a say in what movies I review on my channel. Become a channel member and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.